Men of Reddit, what are some telltale signs that a woman is creepy? When she starts taking offense to doing anything without her involved. Had one girlfriend who insisted that she be with me for any outing. Watching movies with friends, having dinner and drinks with the guys, she always found a way to come along. When I asked why she was so insistent on going everywhere with me, she said she wanted to make sure I wasn't talking to any other girls. And shortly after told me to cut off contact with every girl I regularly talked to, which really just signaled a huge jealousy insecurity problem. I told her I wasn't going to do that and to be assured that I chose her to be in a relationship with. If I wanted anyone else, I would not have signed up to be with her. That didn't stop her though. One day I went out to have barbecue with the guys without her and noticed on the way there and on the way home a car was following me. It was her making sure there weren't any girls I was talking to. I broke it off with her after that. After a few days of her sending a constant bombardment of angry texts, she finally left me alone. This girl I met on Tinder had me take her out to a restaurant and then switch tables with her friend. They had been on blind dates and decided to switch. Her friend was not as attractive and I was very uncomfortable. After ordering my food, I went to the bathroom for 10 minutes to contemplate my exit strategy. When I got back, they had both left. The other guy asked if he could sit with me, so we had dinner and he ate his date's enchiladas. It was actually kind of fun after they left. My ex would freak out and throw things and scream at me. That's not the disturbing thing. She would fucking forget about it, hit reset, and act like it didn't happen the next day. Over and over. I started filming her episodes to prove to myself I wasn't going crazy. In high school there was a girl who liked me. She ended up carving my name into her foot. Tidy whities stapled to her wall as conquests. I've seen it, it's out there. In my experience, 1. Constantly talking about how people don't get them. 2. All of their exes are crazy. 3. I only hang out with guys. I'm a girl, and I'll add to this that any girl who has several ex-best friends all related to some sort of drama, or constantly says how she hates drama, is very likely the root cause of that drama. Anyone who says unironically, "I hate drama," is about 40,000% likely to be the cause of said drama. She'll joke about having kids before you're even in a serious relationship. I went on a couple dates with this one girl who had mentioned how much she wanted kids. Nothing unusual, pretty common actually. I'm looking forward to being a dad one day. Then she started sending me those weird things where you put two people's pictures together and see what their kids would look like. One time would be quirky, but she sent me a different one every morning for a week. Broke it off when I realized I hadn't even given her a picture of myself. Oh, that last sentence was like a horror movie, lol. Met this girl in church group in middle school. We got to know each other because of the group but didn't really become friends or anything. Stopped going when I went to high school and never talked to her for 3 years. She commented on a FB status I had and we got to chatting and I agreed to hang out the next weekend. I asked if we should invite other people in our old church group since I hadn't seen any of them in a while, and she said no. I thought this was 'cause she liked me and wanted to hang out with me, so I was flattered. I kept talking to her throughout the day. The next morning I woke up around 10 a.m. to about 7 to 8 missed calls, 2 voice messages, and countless text messages from her. I was pretty creeped out by then. The nail in the coffin was one of the messages I got was from an old friend from the church group asking me if I talked to that girl. I was confused how my friend knew I talked to this girl the day before. Turns out the girl started messaging my friends asking when I wake up in the morning and why I hadn't messaged her back. I had a boss who acted like I could do no wrong. She praised me and thought I was the best. Then one day, like a switch, she turned on me. She acted like I was the spawn of Satan. I don't know how I didn't lose my job. Somehow I weaseled my way out of that mess. Then I noticed she does the same thing with all her new men employees. I don't take well to obsessive praise anymore after her. I'm a girl. Just went on this thread to nervously check if I'm creepy. Well, are you? Surprising, but apparently not. I had a girlfriend who yelled at me for spending $9,000 on my mountain bike instead of on her. I race professional and I took her out to dinner at least 3 times a week and got her gifts all the time. Plus we got to travel the world thanks to sponsors. but the one purchase for myself was too selfish. When she puts a phone in your trunk on top of your spare tire to track you via GPS. I don't use my trunk. She knew that. She hooked it up to the 12V charger in my trunk and put a tracking app on the additional line she bought. I only discovered it when I had a blowout and had to use it. When I questioned her about it, she said she had trust issues. But good news. Every time I told her I was somewhere, I was at that place. We broke up after that. Asking for your passwords, phone, email, Facebook, etc. as a sign of trust. Nope. I have nothing to hide. However, when you think you need to have that information, it shows you already don't trust me. And anyone who asks and then says they won't use it is lying. They may not use it that day, or even soon, but they will use it at some point, because the same suspicion that led to them asking for it will lead them to use it. When they know more about your errands than what you told her. Extra creepy point is she becomes angry when you deviate from your initial daily plans. Extra creepy points if she starts angrily texting you when you change your plans as your day is unfolding. She asks you your sign, then giggles, gives crazy eyes, and says, "We're compatible." Run, just run. Maybe just little sex first, no. When she has decided you are her best friend after being around you for an hour. When after 2 days she tells you she loves you. And also proceeds to mention that she loves your green eyes so much that if we ever broken up she would steal them while you sleep and keep them in a jar in her room. She asks what your religion is, and when you give an answer different than hers you hear her mutter, "We could work on that." Happened to me. She was a weekly churchgoer and I'm atheist. When she thinks my beard hair is public domain. Drunk girls at bars fucking love to just walk up and grab my beard or run their fingers through my hair. Excuse me, bitch? I don't fucking care how hot you think are. Keeping your greasy fucking thought fingers away from my fucking face. If you would like to touch either, fucking say, "Hey, you have a real nice beard hair, would you mind if I felt it?" And I'd be happy to give you a go. But don't fucking think for 1 second that you're entitled to just start touching me just because you're hot. It's creepy AF and makes me uncomfortable. Not to mention, who the hell likes random people grabbing their face? If I just walked around drunk grabbing girls' faces or hair, I'd be in jail by the end of the night with a PI and an assault charge. But these girls just run around fucking touching people and think it's okay. When she constantly tells you how everybody in her life is out to get her, and nothing is ever her fault. I've been friends with her for about 15 years, and at times it feels like being a victim is her entire identity. At work, all her bosses hate her for no reason, or because she's a woman, even though it seems to follow her from job to job, and she has had many female bosses with whom this problem still exists. Her groups of friends are completely different every 1.5 years or so, because she inevitably has a falling out that is always their fault. Now, I don't doubt that she's been hurt in relationships before. She, nor anybody else, doesn't deserve that. But I do have a hard time believing that every single man she's ever dated is an abusive psychopath. Every single boss she's had has been mistaken and out to get her. Every single best friend is actually a two-faced bitch. If the whole world smells like shit, check your own shoes. I've posted this before, but a long time ago in the 90s I was set up on a blind date. The girl knew way too much about me. She knew my brother's names, where I grew up, and other personal stuff you'd have to dig a little to find out. This was pre-Facebook, and back in the 90s she would have had to ask people who actually knew me to find out. She was just a friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing, so I noped out of that one pretty quick. Later, I asked the people who had set up the date, what the hell, etc., and turns out the girl had had this super long crush on me and was reportedly devastated that I wasn't into her. Luckily, I steered clear of that possible Stephen King novel scenario. Long black fingers with heavily pointed fingernails. Arched back at the neck with eyes as black as pitch. Mouthless face. Matted hair. Pungent scent. Speaks telepathically through visual symbols. Carries a belt of skulls and only appears after dark. Sounds hot. Got a phone number for this cutie? If they never blink, then something's up. Crazy eyes. If she doesn't ask me many questions or doesn't seem interested in my life, but still manages to be clingy. She goes through your drawers when you're sleeping. What are the signs that a woman is creepy? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.